So, today we would like to talk about the nature of transcending the realities and spiritual teachers, Buddhist monks, gurus, enlightened ones, masters we look at and we say that they we definitely um, we definitely have a sense in them that they have attained a sort of transcendence of this reality, and there there exists a neurotic field of or scope of madness between the spaces between this reality and the the encountered ones, and that's sort of to explain that when we encounter new realities, um, we become estranged from this one, and the more and more um, we get driven by time into different mind frames and mindsets, we get distinctly differentiated from other individuals. And there was a great tribulation in the first quartet of this universe, or this um, single point manifestation of the realities which we experience, and that is to say that from the beginning of the space in which we exist, there was a sort of accumulation of this madness which we call introspecting and intellectual science, and the delving into um, different intelligence and magical um, yeah, esoteric forms, and so there is a strong need to realize where you are positioned between another's frame of mind. So that is your ideal other is now more like an identity which is struck by anyone who is in this hallucinatory or schizophrenic or bipolarized um, illusionary frame of mind, uh, mindset. So your strategic conversation, or um, your strategic adhesion to another's physical form is gonna really interpret the different energies which you feel at the scalar quantum level, and that is so the one thing we do realize is that when we transcend reality, we transcend light, and that is meaning that the the inter the inter the infractions of the memories between these these dimensions is more or less like a scrambled antenna, and that is so we talk about making friends and having a good connection and a good um, outlook towards life, and we have psychopathy, which is sort of in the narcissistic mind frame of um, resolution or resolving everything as a really nihilistic, nonchalant perspective. But I mean, those people in the mindset of nihilism and narcissism also they even though they may not really portray it outwardly, they actually do make friends, and they do have those connections. So so um, I mean, we ask different questions about um, inequalities and how we resolve them, and we know that we can divide a whole into different parts. But if we divide a whole into uneven parts, then there is a sort of a golden ratio type of perplexity which is formed between this calculation, and so one thing remains, that you remain stubborn. The universe is gonna just be observant, and once you begin to realize the straightforward nature of your relationship to the universe, then your inputs clearly become outputs at um, the exact wavelengths. So we talk about traveling through portals and how we create portals. And we know that energy is a spiral, but once you connect the spiral, it becomes a genuine interaction between man and faith, or desire and nature, and that is where we look at the 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 so-called neutronic um, molecular emission, and we talk about all this because we know that there's radiation and also decay in a growing entropy, but with an unending entropy, or an irreversible entropy, there's new needs to actually unbalance the energy, because um, balanced energy sort of entails stillness, and that is that is what the mirror is. The mirror is when you look at the stillness, and the the moment, and not um, the infinity. Because even if you look at a two-way mirror, or opposing angles, you don't see the refraction of light to be as infinite as the the illusion is made to be perceived. But what you do realize is an unending, momentous frame of stillness, and that's kind of like the way the universe is perceived in the current mindset, like that that light is not able to cut across from the beginning of time to the end of time. But that is one unmerited or unlearned or um, impractical way of looking at it, because when you want to look at it from an experienced or a guru or a materialized person who is really spiritual, he looks at it to be a universe that is an I am, and all for the I am, and the I am is really important, because the um, the identity of the infinite imaginary number is a so we talked about the square root of 2 and 1, but we're looking at square roots of numbers like 7, and we're looking at the beginning of Om, or the the matrix of Om, and we realize that the omega is an uh, is a is an incalculable infinity. So so all these things are just basic perplexities of the mind, and we know that with with simplisticness, we can actually go by the faith of the transcendental or the transcending of reality, and it's only by faith that we can actually do this. But I mean, I may be saying something that is against someone's views or against what even I have said in the past, but it's it's like climbing a mountain. It's the only way. The only way is up. The only way is up. The only way is up. And or a statue that points left. He only points left. He always points left. The only way is left. So that is kind of how the relationship between these two aspects, or these two statutes, that these two statutory bodies are or is. So I'm gonna end it here, and we'll see you in the next talk.